Dfinity, they had to go out of their way as of a couple days ago to actually make a reminder about a pretty awesome accomplishment that they achieved not too long ago. And that is how they're actually a part of a program that is being run arguably by a division within the United Nations Development Program. I'm not joking. Dfinity even said, great to be part of this program. So I find this to be quite impressive. And is this affecting the price charts? Well, not because of that only. I mean, I think, of course, the overall market sentiment changing is a bigger factor than that. But I think this is something that is often important for me to take a look at because it showcases what they have done historically, not that long ago, and it also showcases how this could maybe impact its future efforts. And let me explain what I mean by this in today's video, even though I am not telling anyone to do anything. It's just my mindset and perspective, and nothing I say is financial advice. So if we take a look at this right here, being a part of a program that, again, is arguably being run by a division within the United Nations Development Program is pretty impressive because this somewhat kind of legitimizes Dfinity's efforts in terms of being focused on more of a global approach, right? In a sense where a lot of other projects out there, they're just focused on, for fun, like focused on the retail side of things, but Dfinity, they're more focused on other things. This is an entity here in the case of Dfinity that is really focused and I would say even obsessed over enterprise adoption, arguably. So I think stuff like this does matter. Not only that, if I take a look at Dfinity, something else that they care about is, of course, being out there. They want to be known, right? So this is a way for them to be known. It's somewhat indirect marketing, in my opinion. It's kind of like marketing, but without Dfinity even having to do a bunch of these advertisements, just because by being a part of a program like that, it showcases that, hey, it's something that's being recognized, right? But even besides that point, I also take a look at, in the case of Dfinity, people sometimes like to tell me, well, this is not even that good, but we have to consider this could allow for better adoption for the internet computer. The reason why I say that is because the United Nations teams in regard to this, right, they could be working on real development problems. And if they can build or let's say run solutions on the internet computer, why not? Why not, right? I mean, through the internet computer being more well known as a result of Dfinity, being a part of a program that is, again, being run by a division within the United Nations Development Program, I think it gives the internet computer a better pathway to better adoption through that. I really do think so. It's like, for instance, let's say someone is golfing every day and they have a group of friends that they golf with. Now, it's of course easier to kind of maybe pitch a business idea or let's say talk about their business idea in general to those friends because they're already known, like they already know each other and they're already part of that group anyways. It's kind of no different when it comes to this. So I do find it to be a quite advantageous thing that Dfinity has done that historically. Now, is it affecting the price charts? No, I don't think stuff like this affects the price charts in and of itself, because when this was announced like not too long ago, which I covered, by the way, I made a video covering this, but I'm just saying this is more so of a reminder because they made a reminder, so I felt like talking about it. But regardless, when this first happened, it wasn't like it affected the price charts in any sort of fantastic way. No, right? The market changing is a bigger factor, but this is stuff that's going to affect the internet computer, I think, for the long haul in terms of its longevity. And I think it also impacts Dfinity because now Dfinity, if they're trying to pitch their idea, if they're trying to go and meet enterprises, meet other projects out there, this could be in their hypothetical resume in a sense, because this gives them a conversation starter. It gives them something to talk about. That's the thing. So I think sometimes people don't take this into consideration, but I think this is something that could matter, especially again, for the future of Dfinity in the grand scheme of things. Now, people like to tell me, well, the internet computer still over 3 times away than November of last year. Well, I mean, yeah, not much has happened there, despite the approximate 15% recovery over the past 30 days. The internet computer, as of right now, is still very low. It's still well below $3. So there's not really much to go off of there. But some people are always wondering like, hey, is this going to be a prolonged recovery or is it going to be just a random small recovery and then it goes down again? I have no idea. I think we really don't know at this point. But regardless, whether or not things go up or down, I'm waiting for the long haul anyways. I'm willing to wait for years if I have to, so it's not a big concern. But this video is more so meant to highlight the accomplishments of Dfinity in the past, which I think a lot of people forgot about, but has been able to accomplish that, right? Again, being a part of a program that is being run by a division within the United Nations Development Program, to the point where Dfinity is so elated, right? They're so excited and happy that they're a part of that program that they were willing to, as of a couple of days ago, make a post saying how they're great to be a part of this program. Or should I say, they said great to be a part of this program, right? Let me rephrase that. So again, they're so happy that they were willing to, make a post like that. Which, if they're happy, so am I, because I'm a fan of this project, even though I am not telling anyone to do anything. But seeing them make a post like that is pretty impressive, because this has an aspect, keep in mind, of AI, right? In regard to them being a part of that program. So we have to consider Dfinity is very focused on AI. This could hypothetically help their efforts in regard to that, because Dfinity is not such a big player in that space as of right now. Like, they're not known for that. Like, when I think about the internet computer, I'm not automatically thinking about AI, right? At least a lot of people don't really think about it that way. So this type of stuff builds upon their image and sort of vibe in regard to that space. So I don't find it to be a bad thing. But nonetheless, if the internet computer returned back to November of last year, I have literally zero things to complain about, just because we're over 3 times away from that, and I am not looking to become the next Jeff Bezos anyways. That's personally for me. But yeah, besides that point, when it comes to the internet computer, I'm just still waiting, and that's really about it. I'll be sure to make more updates though, so hopefully y'all stay tuned for that. I want to say thank you so much for watching. It's been Lee the Captain.